Abigail, I don't know how you would like to do it, but did you want to do roll call or would you like me to do roll call once the meeting starts at 9:30?
Yeah, if you could do roll call, please.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mashid.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, everybody. George, did you get what you need yesterday for the I-75 access?
I sure did. I didn't send that file to you, but I just got a call from HCSL and they couldn't open that Google Earth file. So I'm working on some other solutions. But yeah, no, it was great that Fire Chief and I talked yesterday.
Yeah, actually, they were very appreciative because it came up in the meeting about how I guess during the gateway construction in Pinellas, there was very little consultation with fire EMS about apparatus access along that road. So I don't know what the problem is out there. I drove it. I don't see there being an issue, but it sounds like Pinellas wanted more access. So it was very appropriate timing on that, actually.
There were plenty of pre-construction meetings on that. I've been on that gateway project since the inception of it. So there were plenty of opportunities. It's limited access. It's a toll road and there's no 6-foot barrier wall. So they can certainly access both sides of the roadway with their fire apparatus. It's just turnaround locations I'm sure they were concerned with.
Yeah, it's look, you got to get executive leadership from those agencies, whether it be law enforcement or fire, to send somebody either that or, it's just going to fall through the cracks. But we got the right guy yesterday for sure.
Yeah, that worked out quite well because I couldn't be in two places at once yesterday. So you being there and that certainly helped me out. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Sorry, Lori, to kind of take over the conversation for a minute.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Abigail Flores. I'm the chair of the CTST. We're so glad that we're all here participating for safety and access and mobility and enforcement in the Hillsborough County region. So I'm with Hillsborough County. I manage the safety and mobility programs. We have over 10 programs. And glad you're all here today. Lori will do roll call for us this morning.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lori Poleo with JMT. This meeting is being recorded, and if you are not speaking, please mute your mics. So I'll go down the list. Alexandra sorry, I can't pronounce that. Arvales.
Yes, good morning.
Where are you from?
Grants.
Okay.
Thank you.
Marcia Bento.
Good morning, everyone. Marcia Bento with Hillsborough County Safety and Mobility.
Brenton Mosher.
Brenton Mosher with USF Qatar.
Demetrius German.
Demetrius German from Tampa PD.
George Edmiston.
Let's try that again. George Edmiston with Banish. I'm a District 7 safety consultant.
Ellen Snelling.
Ellen Snelling with Tampa Alcohol Coalition.
Fred Baxter.
Fred Baxter, City of Plant City, Traffic Operations Manager.
Michelle Harris.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Harris with AAA.
James Snell.
Hey, good morning. James Snell, Tampa PD.
Amir Kawaja.
Good morning, Amir Khwaja with the City of Denville Terrace.
Dawn Lewis.
Good morning, Dawn Lewis, Tampa General Hospital Trauma Program.
Lisa Silva.
Lisa Silva, Hillsborough TPO. I'm the Vision Zero Coordinator and School Transportation Liaison.
Mashid Arste.
Good morning, Master Doroste, American Quality Consultants, FDOT Safety Ambassador.
Matthew Weaver.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Matt Weaver with Alma Engineering Group, D7 Safety Plan.
Melinda Nelson.
Morning, everyone. Melinda Nelson with Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, Grants.
Jim Reiser.
Jim Reiser, District 7 Law Enforcement Liaison.
Alexandria Roder.
Tampa General Hospital Injury Prevention for Trauma.
Michael Taylor.
Morning, everyone. Michael Taylor from Hillsborough County Emergency Medical Planning Council and the Trauma Agency.
Vanessa Navarro.
Good morning, Vanessa Navarro with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office with grants.
Emily Hinsdale.
Emily Hinsdale with Sidewalk Stompers.
I think I missed a few people. Is there anyone I did not call?
Jacob Gonzalez, Tampa Police Department. I don't know if that came through. Jacob Gonzalez, Tampa Police Department.
Got it. Is that everyone?
Susan Boda on the phone.
Gotcha. Thank you, Abigail.
All right, thanks, Lori. So we have a welcome to maybe those who haven't attended previously. So we have the agenda here we're sharing. And the purpose of these meetings is to share what everyone's doing to provide quality of life to Hillsborough County region residents. And that is the trauma response, that's law enforcement, engineering, and everything else that's covered here on this and during this meeting. So first up, we're going to approve the July 2024 minutes. So I move to approve that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We need an approval and a second.
I'll
Okay,
second.
Okay.
Any dissents on the minutes? Hearing none. Where can we find the minutes? Maybe some of our newer members. Lori, are you going to be sending an email, or how do we generally get access to the minutes?
The minutes are on the website, tampabaytrafficsafety.com. If you go to the CTST program and you go to the Hillsborough CTST link, in there you'll have access to the agenda and the minutes, as well as the fatal crash map, and then the location to the meeting and everything like that.
Okay. I believe JMT sends out an email as well, or is it just you do to all the attendees today?
Yes, we send an email. It looks like this. Quick download pictures, and you get notifications in your inbox about when the meeting takes place and like helpful tips and stuff like that. Yes.
Okay, great. If you did not get that email for this meeting with it, you should have got one today, but if you didn't, please drop your contact information into the chat. We'll be sure to add you to the email blast so that you can get all the information you need to participate. Thanks. Okay, we're moving on to the business updates. We have pedestrian, bicycle, and motorcycle safety updates. Who would like to go first with those great updates?
Good morning. This is Brenton. There we are.
Morning.
So we are in about an hour, so I might have to leave a little early depending on this meeting. We are going to be at UT set up doing their kickoff back to school event, educating the young UT students about walk and bike and traffic safety. And let's see what else. I was not in attendance, but Cutter did host the Motorcycle Coalition last week.
What's involved with the Motorcycle Coalition?
They have people come from all over. Jim might be able to speak more on that. I think he was there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll address that. Jim Reiser, District 7 Law Enforcement Liaison. Motorcycle Coalition basically brings it similar to all the other coalitions. It brings together the engineering side, the outreach side, legislative, and policy, and then of course law enforcement, and tries to come up with solutions to try and improve motorcycle safety, which is very tough to address. I mean, it is a vehicle, but it's hard to create special roadways just for a motorcycle, if not impossible. So trying to incorporate them into all the other traffic flows and with the planning can be difficult at times, especially as it relates to safety. I know it's something D7 and Peter's group over there in the safety office locally has been working on pretty hard. George is involved in that. Also, when it comes to the crash reviews, the only thing that really came out of this is that we had just passed the assessment in February. NHTSA was very pleased with the overall direction of the coalition. From time to time, the coalitions will go through an assessment by NHTSA because ultimately that's where the funding comes from on the federal level. They will try and look at the processes, things that have been done by the coalitions, and then make suggestions. The only thing that's really changed for us is they are adopting on the national level more of a safe systems approach, which is kind of a new spin on some of the things we've been doing. And we're rewriting the implementation plan, which will be good for the next 3 to 5 years to incorporate the safe systems approach into the motorcycle safety efforts for all the different specialty groups within the coalition. So that's being written right now. We expect to have a first draft, hopefully by the end of the November meeting, which will be here in Tampa again, and then start moving forward on the implementation plan for the Motorcycle Coalition into 2025 and the years forward. So that's really the update from there. The only thing I can talk about pedestrian and bicycle safety is that most of the agencies have gotten their funding letters for the high visibility enforcement and education grants. And they're going through processing right now. And several agencies in the Tampa Bay area, including in Hillsborough County, Tampa Police Department, Hillsborough County Sheriff, and I believe Temple Terrace Police Department all are going to receive funding this year for pedestrian and bicycle safety, on-street education and enforcement. So I'll yield back at this time.
Great update. Thank you, Jim. Would you be able to present to our group about the effort that you just described? Like, what would be an appropriate time when you can share a presentation with us, like the strategy and the components of the plan and the expected like timeline of the implementation as you described? Do you think you could share that with us in a future meeting?
Yeah, I would probably prefer to do that after our November meeting. Not that I'm trying to put it off, but we're still putting together an implementation plan. So I would say it'd be sometime in early 2025. And it shouldn't take that long. And it might actually take a little longer to get the plan up to date, depending on if there's any other directives that come down from the state safety office. But right now, we think we have a pretty good picture of what we need to accomplish. But that's something that we could do in the future. I just don't want to give you a firm date yet because the plan is still undergoing revisions at this time.
Yeah. All right. Sounds great. We'll look forward to that in 2025. Any other updates on ped, bike, or motorcycle safety?
One other thing, FDOT has tasked us to do a little bit of education around some new pedestrian hybrid beacons on South Dale Mabry. I know there's one at Mango, there's one at Wisconsin. So That's kind of south, close-ish to the, not too far from the base, I believe, McDill. So we will be out there doing some on-the-street education and dropping off some of the pedestrian hybrid beacon literature to the businesses around there.
Okay. Are you guys going to be collecting any data like compliance, just visual observations, or it's more information dissemination?
It's more information dissemination. We do collect that informally when we're out there, but we don't have a robust collection for that.
Okay, yeah, maybe you can share at a future meeting what you guys saw and how that event went. That'd be great. Emily has her hand up.
Yes, I just I was going to ask if you'd reached out to Robinson High School, and I believe there's also an elementary school that certainly uses the Mango Crossing, if not the other one.
We are going to an event at Lanier High School. I believe that's the one that's there. September 19th. They're doing a bike night. They do a little rodeo, and then we bring safety education. So.
Right, but I was specifically about the beacons on Southdale Mabry, which isn't near Lanier Elementary. Robinson High School is that uses that road, and that a lot of students go back and forth across Southdale Mabry.
We can have our law enforcement program that is supposed to be going into the school. George can maybe help them do that education.
Yeah, we can certainly address that when our program is not specific to those devices, but I certainly agree that information does need to reach those high schools. So Brent and I can provide some staff information. We can get it to the high school principal and they can put it on the announcements and distribute that information. I think it's important we get to that sooner than later before those signals go to full operation. So I totally agree with that. I'll get that information to Brenton.
That's a good call. Is it like a flyer? How to use this? How to use this new?
Yeah, Abigail. So
control?
It's interesting. We have 2 new devices here in Tampa Bay. We're using the mid-block pedestrian signals and also pedestrian hybrid beacons. So both are different. Both basically control pedestrian and vehicle movements. One typically stays in the green phase, and the other one is not illuminated until activated. So the pedestrian hybrid beacons are certainly a little bit different. They play the same role. They're for roadways 40 miles per hour or greater. But I think everyone needs to know the difference between the 2 of them, how they operate, and especially motorists. So certainly one of those challenges we're working on currently.
Yeah. Yeah, like to Emily's point, if there was a flyer that said, how to use these, what they're for, because the principals send emails to their parents. I know because I'm doing the Safe Routes to School. So you might consider providing an information pamphlet with pictures or a link to how to go to a video and see how they work. But yeah, okay, great work.
There's also a lot of student sites and student-run social media around the school where that could be shared that might reach the students more easily.
Okay, I can get the information. Perhaps you and Brenton can team up and get him that information where it needs to be broadcast to, and we'll certainly get it to you. So
that'd be
sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Great. Thanks for that. We're moving on to education. We have some schools on the line. Or any updates on education for safety, enforcement? Lisa.
Hi, I'm going to go ahead and cover it here because the Gulf Coast Safe Street Summit is a regional education event that's bringing together all of our community partners to enhance designing and implementing safe and equitable transportation facilities for all modes of transportation. So mark your calendar for October 9th. That's a Wednesday afternoon is when the summit will be. We have a fabulous international highly rated speaker, Gil Penalosa, going to be one of the main speakers. We have Mayor Castor doing the welcome. We've invited Representative Kathy Castor for the closing. We have requested both District 1 and District 7 secretaries to do a safety spotlight for their districts, because both of those DOTs cover the 8-county region that this is a thing for. It got kicked off when we first did our Vision Zero action plan. And so this will be the 7th summit. So we hope you will all come. All the details for it and this companion safety events are on our website, planhillsborough.org/GCSSS. I will attempt to post the link in the chat. And what I say about companion events, because we have Gil Penalosa coming and he will do multiple events. We've have some partners that have requested to use his speaker talents as well. So there's going to be a community conversation on Thursday evening with free daycare and babysitting available that Plan Hillsborough and Walk by Tampa are sponsoring. They're flying in as another companion speaker from Families for Safe Streets. So that will be a great event, especially for victims of traffic violence. The Downtown Partnership is borrowing Gil Penalosa for their monthly debriefing series on Wednesday morning. It's Walk to School Day, so that's another safety thing going on at the same time. So Sidewalk Stompers doing something that we're going to try to highlight and help promote that and do some school-related activities that week. And then, like the Motorcycle Coalition, there's a separate coalition, and it's the Pedestrian and Bicycle Safety Coalition. I serve on that, and it's open to the public. It is going to be at the same location, so I've paired them together so they're bookended. So that starts Tuesday afternoon and completes at noon on Wednesday, and then at 1 o'clock after we reset the room is when the summit will begin. The summit will last till 5, and then we're going to have a really fun networking facility event just down the block at the Tampa History Center. So all of this is going on at the Port Terminal 2, which is right adjacent to the aquarium and along the free streetcar. So we've crammed a lot of really great multimodal transportation in there. There are 2 optional mobile workshops highlighting Selman's Greenway Trail and or the Water Street district. So if you would like to sign up for those are a separate registration also on the website. So those promise to be very good and to sell out fast. So get in there and register. We kept it really, really low on the prices. So it's $25 for just the general public and consultants, and only a whopping $15 for public agencies and students. If anyone in the community has a hardship with that fee, just contact me and we'll work out a scholarship. So we're going to educate everybody all week long. Join us for Safe Streets Week.
Awesome. Thank you. It's wonderful. Yes, please share the link. I'm going. Marcia's going. And so Hillsborough County will have a presence there. Yes. Great.
Yeah, bring the whole department. We really want, like, the people. It's going to be Gil is really great with audiences that have no familiarity with these difficult and complicated solutions. And he's very good at inspiring naysayers too. So we want to fill the room with not everybody that already knows what Vision Zero as well. So please do that. And again, bulk registrations, very affordable.
Yeah, I would say I'd encourage everybody on this committee to attend, and we could meet in person, so that's good. And we can learn together. And so it's good. Thank you, Lisa.
Yes. We have sponsorships open now too, if you want to have a table and have your presence known. Again, all on the website that I'm getting ready to post now. Thank you.
All right, we'll follow up with that. CTST table. Thank you. What? Anything else on education? Right. Moving on to enforcement and crash statistics. Let's start with enforcement.
Hello, good morning. This is Demetrius German from Tampa PD. We're going to have a traffic initiative going on pretty much all throughout the Labor Day weekend, where we're going to kind of step up enforcement efforts to kind of just to be on the lookout for aggressive and speeding and throughout the city. So we hope to send a message out. I know we're doing a video with the Chief Burke call tomorrow morning for Labor Day. So spread the word that enforcement efforts will be elevated over the weekend, and hopefully everyone has a safe holiday.
Great, thanks.
And to piggyback off the sergeant for Tampa traffic crash statistics, we had 9 fatalities in the month of June, which was really high. However, the month of July, we actually had 0 traffic fatalities for the first time in the 7.5 years I've been on the unit. So that's definitely remarkable. And August has been below average so far. So hopefully that trend continues.
What would you attribute that 0 fatalities? Did you guys do anything different, or what do you attribute it to?
I wish we could say for sure what that it was our efforts that were doing it. I think it's a combination of the enforcement efforts, but also the weather. I think we've had these weather patterns with significant amounts of rain daily, pretty much since late June. So I think that plays a factor, but it's just really hard to say without further study what the root cause is. But we'll take whatever it is and hope it continues.
Yeah. All righty.
Jacob
Other
Gonzalez,
updates?
DUI. So for as far as enforcement goes, so far in July of this year, we have 115 DUI arrests. Compared to July of last year, in all of July, we had 109. So we still have this weekend to go, which we anticipate being a pretty busy weekend. So numbers should be pretty decent amount more than last year. So far for the year to date, we have 1,237 DUI arrests compared to 1,457 for all of 2023. So we anticipate having, once again, a significant amount over last year's total DUIs. We attended a DUI education session at Freedom High School last week. This week we're going to Jefferson High School. And then this weekend we have a multi-agency DUI saturation patrol planned with HCSO on Saturday and Sunday. And that's for Labor Day.
Wow. All right.
I could go over the fatal crash map.
Yeah, please do, Lori. Thanks.
Zoom out a little bit. So from January 1st to June 12th of 2024, there have been 71 fatal crashes. At the last CTST from January 1st to May 5th, there were 51 fatal crashes. So there's been 20 new fatal crashes since last CTST. That includes 1 rollover, 1 head-on, 1 bicycle, 1 right angle, 1 other, 3 rear end fatal crashes, 3 run off the road, 3 left turn, and 6 pedestrian fatal crashes. Pedestrians also represent the highest fatality type, as you could see on this graph, road user by jurisdiction. It's showing 26 through June 12th. So for the 6 new pedestrian fatal crashes for the CTST, one of them was at Carter Street and West Julia Street at the 4-way intersection in day, cloudy, and wet conditions. The second ped fatal crash was on East Bougainvillea Ave and North Nebraska Avenue at the 4-way intersection in dark, lighted, clear, dry conditions. The third was at North 40th Street and East Yukon Street at a roundabout, which I don't hear about too often, in dark, lighted, clear, dry conditions. The next one was on East Hillsborough Avenue and Orient Road at the 4-way intersection in dark, lighted, clear, dry conditions. The fifth was on Orient Road and Lupine Drive at the T intersection in dark, not lighted, clear, dry conditions. And the last new pedestrian fatal crash was East Bush Boulevard and North Wick Place at the 4-way intersection in dark, lighted, rainy, wet conditions. So again, there have been 71 fatal crashes through June 12th. Same period in 2023, there were 92 fatal crashes. So we were down by 21 fatal crashes same period. So we do see an improvement there. And then for the crashes per jurisdiction, as you could see, state roads represent the highest fatalities, followed by Hillsborough County Roads and City of Tampa. And that is everything I got.
All right. But generally, the pads are, well, they could be on state facilities like highways, right, Lori? They're,
Yeah, like
doesn't-
if in this graph here, sorry, it's a little hard to see. Pedestrians, it breaks it down based on jurisdiction. So there's like 8 in City of Tampa, 8 in Hillsborough County, and 10 on state roads, making up your 26 fatal crashes.
that's an annual count, right? That breakdown?
Yeah, that's from January 1st to June 12th. So it's been about half a year of data.
Okay, any questions or comments on that from the group? Yeah, as Lori mentioned, that ped and bikes, a lot of those crashes she mentioned were at the intersection. And, Hillsborough County has studied our system, and that's a big problem, I was trying to find the exact numbers, but ped and bikes do have problems at the signalized intersections in general. So we are working hard to address that, which I'll share with the engineering updates. All right, that's what we got for now. We're moving to engineering. Do we have City of Tampa? I know we might not have City of Tampa. We got to start inviting those guys and gals. We do have other cities
I
on.
do have
Okay.
I do have good news. Emmett and I shared about this great group with Tim Horst, their Vision Zero engineer. So it's probably too quick for him to join us today, but he has he's now on the invite list and has them on his calendar for future times.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we could have them give us a short presentation what they have been up to. So I do collaborate with Tim on some projects, so I'll encourage him to do that. That way we can have an icebreaker presentation for City of Tampa. Thanks, Lisa. We have other cities on the line?
Plant City here. So yeah, I had a couple updates to provide. We're completing up some pedestrian upgrades downtown right now in downtown Plant City to include some new RRFBs. Hoping to have those up and running by the end of the week, if not shortly after the Labor Day weekend. We were recently approved for $561,000 for the LA TAPS grant funding. We're going to be applying that to emergency vehicle preemption, traffic cabinets, and also connected vehicle CVX RSU devices throughout the entire city. So that's gonna be a big upgrade. We're hoping this will go on our commission for execution on September 23rd. Hoping to have some purchase orders cut by the end of August or end of October. I'm sorry. And then we just completed 2 new school zones, new flashers, feedback signs, the whole 9 yards for Wilson Elementary and also Lincoln Magnet School. And then I had a couple questions that I was hoping maybe to get some collaboration on. One being, there's a Florida statute in place where you can only enforce school zones 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after bell time. Well, typically, prior to this, our school zone flashers would come on 45 minutes before bell time in the morning, and then 15 minutes after bell time in the morning, and then kind of reversal in the afternoon, where they would come on 15 minutes before the school lets out, and then stay on for 30 to 45 minutes after school lets out. In speaking with some of the crossing guards, they're only there at the locations for what the Florida statute states, 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after bell time. I kind of was hoping some other agencies would give a little bit of feedback on maybe what they are doing, because we feel like, especially with early entry for breakfast and stuff like that on a lot of these elementary schools, we feel the 30 minutes before bell time is not efficient enough. We would like to go back to the 45-minute, but it starts to create an enforcement issue when the light is flashing and a police officer pulls someone over during that time frame. So I would definitely like to get a little bit of feedback, if maybe from an officer or maybe from Hillsborough County, if they're on the line.
Does
This is
enforcement?
Demetrius.
Okay,
This is
great.
Demetrius German from Tampa PD. What's the actual question about the?
So the Florida statute that came out says that you can only enforce school zone areas 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after bell time. But if we have a school flasher that is on 45 minutes before bell time, and our PD writes a ticket within that 15-minute window outside of the 30-minute window, now we're starting to have some discussion about it. I was I guess my question was, what are other agencies doing?
Well, we're enforcing the speed zone when that light's flashing. So if that light's flashing during that particular time, that's pretty much what we're enforcing.
And I understand that, but if it's if that light is on 45 minutes before the bell time, and then you have someone that is willing to go forth and argue the Florida statute, that there's definitely a gray area there, where this could be argued or tried in court or anything else. So I know I had spoke with Iteris. I know they do a little bit of the management of the school flashers for Hillsborough County, and they're kind of feeling the same way. So that was kind of, I just kind of wanted to get some feedback of other agencies and law enforcement as well.
Well, you are correct about the school crossing guards and what times they're there and when they leave. I know over these past 2 weeks as school has started. So what we've done so far these last 2 weeks is we've kind of just educated the public. Even when the school crossing guard isn't there and they leave leave the area, that school zone is still active. So we're still conducting traffic enforcement, but we're just warning people right now. So should the crossing guards be there a little while longer? I mean, that's something that Hillsborough County and school crossing guards will have to discuss and figure out. But as far as enforcement, there's probably is some wiggle room there as far as that statute is written.
Okay.
This Jim Reiser, I pulled up the statute. So it sounds like your question has a lot to do with the time you can actually enforce that school zone, correct?
Correct. And so Plant City has always ran their flashers 45 minutes in advance in the morning time, where now we're getting a little bit of kickback. So we went to the 30-minute, and then started getting more kickback, where we have a lot of elementary school kids come in for the early breakfast. So we're going to go back to the 45-minute.
Right, but you're talking about the bell time of the school, right? The actually when school's in session now, they're in class, correct?
That is
breakfast time. So the way it says a speed limit, and it's referring to the 15 or 20 mile an hour speed limit, depending on what it is. Speed limit may be enforced only during those times, 30 minutes before, during, and 30 minutes after periods of time when pupils are arriving, or at a regularly scheduled breakfast program or regularly scheduled school session and leaving a regularly scheduled school session. So if they start serving breakfast, say at 7, technically under state statute, the way I'm reading it, they can start those lights earlier and not have a problem with enforcement. Of course, looking at if you're comfortable with the 45 minutes, as long as it's before the school function, and it says a regularly scheduled breakfast program, which is what you're referring to, then you should be fine. Ultimately, somebody fights a citation, the judge can look at it and interpret it differently. I'm just going off what it says.
Yeah.
And that's, if you want to look at that, that's Florida State Statute 316, 1895. And it deals with the state uniform traffic control, and it deals with school zones and the speeds. Now, the 30 minutes you're referring to, I think you're talking, I don't know if you're looking at the school zone cameras, but that's 30 minutes before or after any school function. And so, or when the school's in session. So I think, they're not necessarily, they are related, but they're not. The school cameras are a little bit different animal than just flashing lights.
No, we're not looking at the school cameras. We're looking at basically the safety aspect, one, and then the enforcement aspect. So the safety aspect, crossing guards in Plant City are not there until 30 minutes in advance. So if we have kids that are walking to school 45 minutes in advance and the flashers are on without a crossing guard, it kind of, a third grader, second grader walking to school without a crossing guard or crossing an intersection kind of throws up a red flag for us.
Right. So are those crossing guards maintained by Plant City PD or Hillsborough County Sheriff? I'm not sure.
Hillsborough County Sheriff.
Yeah, you would need to get with them, and they would need to, be willing to do that. But the lights, before the breakfast session, they're able to turn those lights on earlier, it looks like.
Okay.
But refer to that statute. I would have your legal department look at it, but that's what it's under. Yeah.
All right. I appreciate the feedback. I do have one more thing. Sorry to take so long on this, but maybe if I can get a Hillsborough County representative to maybe give me a call, maybe sometime today or in the near future. We have some school line pickup issues that we're dealing with at Marshall Middle School right now. And it pertains to the Park Road side, which is Hillsborough County segment. As you know, in Plant City, our growth has gone through the roof. So about every school right now is probably at 125, 150% capacity right now. So we're definitely having a lot of issues. One with the condition of the roadway shoulder and the pickup line for Marshall Middle School that is wrapping around Maryland Avenue down to MLK and then all the way back down to Park Road across the railroad track. And this is in the evening hours. I was wanting to see if maybe I can collaborate with a Hillsborough County engineering representative and maybe come up with a game plan or some type of temporary solution that maybe goes into a permanent solution.
All right, Fred. Yeah, I can. I'm putting my email in the chat, so email me and let me know what you just stated, that you want to meet with the rep, what's the location, and we'll be sure to reach out to you and coordinate that, okay?
Okay. And that's all I have on Plant City. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Yes, that's what we're here for, is to collaborate and to vet these things out. That's what this forum is for. So thanks for that. We're continuing with engineering. So I have a brief update. What's the update? The update is that Hillsborough County is continuing. Let me pull that up. We're continuing to go through. So we have over 10 safety and mobility programs. So we're not going to talk about all of them today, but I'll give you the updates, the highlights. We have PED Corridor Safety Program, where we identify segments of roadway to improve for pedestrian access. So we're working through annually to do project development on like up to half a dozen corridors, project development for PED corridor improvements. So we're working on 6 of those. And then we also follow those projects with the tier 1 projects, which are the delineators, the markings, and the signage. So we're currently working on Sheldon, Bloomingdale, Gibson, 10, Manhattan, Boyette, and Fletcher. And then we've completed already some on Orient. So I heard when we were talking about the crash that Lori shared, the crash statistics, I heard Orient. So these are on our radar, and I'm getting a little back. Lori, do you want to mute everybody? I'm getting a little feedback. So we're working through, and I want to share, we're being really aggressive with slowing driver speed, because a major contributor to fatal and severe crashes is driver speed. So we're Hillsborough County in safety and mobility. All the projects we do are accompanied by a speed reduction, a posted speed reduction that we're able to accomplish with engineering treatments. So change the design, change the posted speed. So we have these ped corridors. We're working on our bicycle safety corridors. So we've identified Causeway, Shell Point, and Tarpon Springs, where we're improving for bicycle access, safety, visibility. So that is going great. We're doing the project development. So for example, on Tarpon Springs, we do some treatments that would allow us to reduce the posted speed, to share the road where people would, well, there's a bike lane there. So we'd make the bike lane more visible with green markings. And we're also looking at, for these vulnerable roadway user projects that also include our safe access to transit. We're narrowing lane width, similar to like what City of Tampa did on Bay Shore, where they added another white line that on the road that narrows the lanes that the drivers can travel. So that's a speed management, what we call speed management technique. For safe access to transit, we are working on Memorial Highway and Hanley and Kelly Road to make those more friendly for walking and biking to access the bus. So that's great. And so the process flow for Hillsborough County projects is we do the project development, which means we identify what treatments should go here to make it safer to stop fatal and severe crashes. Then we move on to the plans and the implementation of signing, pavement markings, and delineators. And then we move on to design and construction of a more robust, like the concrete medians and the separated bike lane with concrete curb, for example. So we are just so pleased. It's all about, for us, making vulnerable roadway users safe, as we know they're disproportionately impacted. That's why we focus on them, because they're 1% of the commuting population, but represent 20% of the fatal and severes. So that's why we're doing that. Does anybody else? So we did get the city's update. If anything, if you'd like any more information on what we're doing, we will be giving a presentation in the near future. So look forward to that. Let me come back to the agenda. If there's any comments or questions on that. All right. We have school transportation items. Who's going to share about that? Do we have a crossing guard or a school representative on the line? Okay, maybe she hopped off. So
I can share some stuff, Abigail.
Okay.
Sidewalk Stompers has currently 15 schools launched with walk to school programs for the year, and we are looking to partner with more. We are also working with several schools, primarily in the city of Tampa, on ways that the community, whether it's PTA, area business, other kind of parents group, can do some road treatments that they can fund themselves or fundraise for to improve the safety around their schools. So that's been a really fun way to get the community more invested in and more interested in ways that they can address their road safety issues. I think it's we use a lot of the fancy jargon here of different phrases that we can describe road safety efforts, but when you get people actually out there in the street thinking about it in a different way, they can start making changes themselves.
All right. Thanks,
I
Emily.
was also going to add that National Walk to School Day is coming up on October 9th. Last year we had 33 schools participate in Hillsborough County. The previous record had been 16 schools, which means that this year we have to even increase the record over 33. Sidewalk Stompers is partnering with Hillsborough County Council PTA to offer a reward for the school with the highest percentage of walkers participating on National Walk to School Day. That information will be coming out soon, and I can share that sign-up flyer with everybody here. But we hope to see a lot of people out there walking and biking on October 9th.
All right. So what does enforcement do on the National Walk to School Day? Is there any special efforts?
We have in the past seen Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office come out to some events around National Walk to School Day. I obviously love to have our law enforcement partners out there at any schools that are holding events. I'm happy to share what those are if they want to attend. I think what we look to avoid is having extra traffic stoppages and changes to the route, because we want to make sure that the kids are learning the route and participating in the route that they're going to have to walk on days when law enforcement is not there. So I would love to have them come out and help us and partner with us, but making sure the kids are still learning that you obey the crossing guard and you cross at a crosswalk and use the sidewalk when you can, etc.
So how would they reach out to you, Emily?
I can put my email in the chat, and I'm happy to share our list of schools if Sheriff or TPD wants to join us at any. I don't believe we have any currently signed up in Temple Terrace or Plant City, but also would love to have some schools join us there.
There's some bike riding law enforcement too, right? That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
All right. So that's our school transportation items. HSIP updates.
Good morning. Today we don't have a presentation, but we have been receiving several applications, reviewing applications, getting codes for the material requests, and as you know, the requests were, some of the requests, bright sticks, zipper style bike delineators, speed feedback signs, flashing stop signs, RFBs. So as you know, if you are submitting an application, the FDOT HSIP manual spells out the requirements of applying for this kind of funding. Please submit as much information as you can. And the way it's done is through a separate email as attachments, not in the email. Just remember that there needs to be a presentation to the CTST meeting. That one of the other requirements is to attend the CTST meeting. And as always, I'm here to help as much as possible. And the applications have been very successful, and the review has been quick. So please send it in. Now's the time to send in more applications. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a cutoff date for that application?
Far as I know, yeah, as far as I know, the sooner the better. Further away from the fiscal year deadline, which is in July for DOT, is better, but it's first come, first serve, and it's rolling application.
Great. Did you want to talk about the panel that's going to be for the summit? Yeah, for the summit.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. So the CTST Summit, as you know, the mega meeting is on September 12th, and one of the breakout sessions is engineering. It's about 1:15 in the afternoon, and we have a great panel. We have Megan Aroste, who's going to make a presentation on corridor management and safety-related implementations by FDOT. We have a great participant, Abigail Flores from Hills. So there is a panel after the presentation. So Abigail is on that panel. We have a representative from Pasco County. We have Danita from Pinellas County. So it's going to be a multiple county panel discussion afterwards. So please make sure that you attend. Yeah, actually, there are a lot of people that have signed up already too. So that's great.
Can you drop the link for the registration in the chat? That would be great if you could do that.
Sure, sure.
Great. So you can find more information at this link. What is the date? It's September.
September 12th. Lori, can you send the link to the registration? Thank you. Because I know it will be something that goes through you all and Eric. Thank you.
And it's a mega meeting because it's Hillsborough County, Pinellas, and Pasco. Is that correct, Lori?
Pasco,
Or in-
Fernando, Citrus.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Hillsborough, Pasco, Pinellas, West Central, and Citrus, and University. Yeah.
Okay, so all the CTSTs are going to be there, all the superheroes in their capes, and so look
Yes.
forward to meeting you guys in person there. All right, so thank you for that update, Rashid. We're moving on to Vision Zero. Who wants to share? Lisa, does the TPO have anything coming up with Vision Zero?
We just wrapped up our Vision Zero street study for Waters and Sly. So we're beginning scoping for a new corridor, just sorting that out. That's just in the beginning stages. We've been focused on replenishing some of our encouragement materials, like our Vision Zero signs and our back to school signs. Well, they're not back to school, but they're like encouraging safety and the presence of students in the area. So that's been happening. And then of course the Gulf Coast Safe Street Summit has been a big effort currently.
Great, thank you. Any other updates on the Vision Zero?
Me again. It's Emily. On September 22nd, Walk Bike Tampa and the City of Tampa are sponsoring the second annual World Car Free Day. I've mentioned this before, but I also wanted to specifically announce today that we are going to be holding the city's first Critical Mass Ride. I'm sure you've all heard of a Critical Mass Ride, where a large group of bikers ride together for greater visibility. Well, this is going to be all kids. We are riding from the Poe Garage area in downtown along the Cass Street protected bike lane to Perry Harvey Park, and then into the Encore area on Ray Charles Boulevard, where Downtown Tampa Partnership will be helping us with an activation zone. This is about a half-mile route. Invitations have gone out to a lot of area schools, and you're welcome to send out more. I'm going to put the website in the chat for you to visit, and I will also ask for a flyer to be sent out to the group. So I hope you all will join us for the Critical Mass Ride with children, or if you are not able to bring children but still want to participate, we are looking for some intersection monitors, because we are going to be using the road properly. We're not blocking it off. We are stopping at stoplights, and we are slowing down when it's a yellow light, so we're ready to stop. So we're just looking for some intersection monitors to blow a whistle and drop an orange flag to help everybody slow down on the ride. So please let me know if you are interested in helping us with that. Thanks.
Hillsborough TPO Vision Zero is definitely going to be intersection monitors, and we're very excited to see this encouraging young multimodal riders. And we're going to provide safety harnesses for anyone that wants to participate. And I believe Sidewalk Stompers is providing the flags. So we're really excited about this new event.
That is awesome. Get the kids involved. All right. So anything else on the Vision Zero? I'll go briefly. So the Hillsborough County has been working on 2 Vision Zero corridors. One is 78th Street, the other one is Lynn Turner. And we have completed our concept plan. So the concept plan is like, what do we want the street to look like? So we've completed that, and I want to share, you guessed it, there's a speed reduction. You guessed it, there's vertical elements, raised crosswalks. So there's going to be mid-block crossing. There's going to be better lighting on the corridor, reduced speed limit, driver feedback, gateway treatment that cues to drivers, hey, you're in a slower zone, not a school zone, but you're in a slower zone. So we're really happy about that. And when we could give a presentation to you guys shortly about that. We're also, that includes like access management on these corridors. What does that mean? Like prohibiting left turns, because as Lori talked about in our crash statistics, we always need to connect. We're doing this engineering because of the crashes, right? So there, as Lori mentioned, there's a lot of left turn fatal and severe crashes. That's a top 3 crash type in our region across the board. And we want to address that with like medians and those type of things. So preventing left turns, for example. And that's what I have for 78th Street and Lynn Turner. Back to the agenda. It's open forum. I want to meet our new members. So if this is your first time joining us, can you introduce yourself and let us know who you're with and what you hope to get and contribute to our group?
I'll go. I am Ann Rollison. I am the executive director at DUI Counterattack, the DUI program that serves Hillsborough County. I replaced Helen Justice a little over a year ago, and we're finally getting kind of settled down enough that we can start participating in some of these kind of activities. I was previously the program director over in Orange County and participated in CTST meetings over there quite a bit. This forum's quite different than the Orange County one. So I'm just mostly just kind of getting oriented to see how you're doing your meetings. And I'm very impressed. They're very organized, and I really appreciate that. Also, a lot of people are not aware because it's been quite some time, but we actually have 2 corporations. One's called DUI Counterattack, and the other one's is called PrEP, which is Prevention Rehabilitation Education Program. And we are definitely looking to develop some new education type safety programs, primarily around traffic, but obviously a significant amount of substance abuse, hoping to develop some new substance abuse courses and services and get out there and to just expand those beyond DUIs themselves. But if anybody's got any questions or anything anybody wants to know, we've definitely been in a rebuilding phase for the last year, to say the least. There's a lot of misinformation out there. We just reopened to the public for people to walk in and register last October, since the pandemic. So if anybody has any questions or anything, I'd be happy to answer them. Anybody has any questions or any ideas of anything where we're looking at, to go full in on program development, we're probably still about 3 to 6 months away. But if anybody has any ideas, any questions, any concerns, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Great, Ann, welcome. So be sure to put your contact information in the chat so we can make sure you're part of our email blast, and we can also reach out to you All right, who else? We have
Hi.
Alexandria.
Yes, awesome. So my name is Alexandria Roeder. I go by Alex. This is my first CTST meeting, so I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. And our hospital, I am a nurse and the injury prevention and outreach coordinator at TGH. Part of my job is to help prevent traumatic injury. And so at TGH, we see our second and third top mechanism of injury related to vehicles. So with motor vehicle accidents and then also auto versus pedestrian accidents. So it's just a great place to learn what's going on in the community, but then also, report out on if I have any, if there's a sequence of traumatic motor vehicle accidents that, maybe needs to have more light brought to it. So, yeah. Nice to meet
Awesome.
everybody.
Welcome. So glad to have you both. And, I want to put it out there. Any of our members that want to present and share on this great work you are doing, we're all very interested. So I would be interested in what are the trends, if you guys keep that kind of information, Alex, what are the trends that you're seeing of injuries come in? Because as engineers, we get the police reports from crashes. And so those who would go in for treatment care at the hospital, like maybe 3 days after a bike and vehicle crash, the bike or the ped would go in a few days later with a severe injury like, I don't know, concussion or, broken arm, something you don't feel right away after a crash because of the, what is it called? Adrenaline. So yeah, if you could share, Alex or Ann, if you could, if you're interested, put a brief presentation on what you do, and we'd learn to love more. We'd to learn. Wait a minute. We'd love to learn more. Anybody
Absolutely.
else? Great. Anybody else new on the line? All right. Well, we did go over announcements. Is there any announcements that we missed?
Hi, it's Ellen Snowling from the Alcohol Coalition. I put something in the chat. One of the things I'm most concerned about right now is the recreational marijuana amendment that's going to be on the ballot in November, because if it passes, I'm afraid it will increase DUI under the influence of marijuana and DUI crashes and fatalities. So I put a couple of references in the chat for more information on a couple of organizations, groups that are opposing the amendment. And I wanted to mention that if anyone's interested in either virtual or in-person presentations to try to correct the misinformation and misperceptions out there about marijuana and how harmless it is, we have lots of references from other states like Colorado, New York, California to show how legalization can affect road safety, among a lot of other things. So just wanted to put that out there. The election's in November, so anytime if you would like a presentation for your group, just let me know.
Great. I would like to know about that. So maybe we can plan like early next year, we'll talk more about the details, but yeah, we'd love early next year to hear more about, well, you said it's November, the election's
Right.
coming up. So we have September's a mega meeting, October will be a regular meeting, right, Lori?
Yes, so we have to decide a location for the October in-person meeting. That is correct.
Okay, so Ellen, would you want to give a brief presentation at that time?
Sure.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I can either bring a brief PowerPoint or handouts or something, but I would love to do that. That'd be great. Thanks.
Okay, we'll coordinate with you more on that. So let's plan for that. Okay, we have a hand up.
I wanted to, if y'all don't mind, I just wanted to
Sure.
kind of piggyback on Ellen and just second her thoughts, efforts. We see in the DUI school, we see a remarkable number of people that after the fact, after the DUI arrest, we identify that either they report themselves that they had been high that day, that thing. It just law enforcement was unable to identify that. When we do presentations in DUI school regarding the impairing effects of marijuana, the lack of understanding is obtuse. That people just simply reject it, and Ellen is spot on. There's so much misinformation. There's so much misunderstanding. So anything she could do, I've lost a person to recreational marijuana usage, so I'm very passionate about it, and don't want to see anybody else doing it. Just to really appreciate Ellen's efforts and anything she can do.
Great. We will touch base. Yes, we need that information. And Michelle, did you have something to add?
And thank you. I just wanted to mention really quick that for the Labor Day weekend, AAA has the Toe to Go program in operation. And Toe to Go offers a free ride to impaired drivers. It's for them and their vehicles to a safe place. And it's free. You don't have to be a member. It's just a community service, and it's our impaired driving prevention program. It starts basically Friday night at 6 o'clock, and it goes until Tuesday morning at 6 a.m.
Okay, how do we get a hold of that service? Can you drop the details in the chat?
I'll put the link in the chat, and there's also a phone number there that that can be used. It's 100% free.
All right. Lori, thanks everyone for that information. Do we have any more announcements?
I have an announcement about the upcoming meeting schedule. So like we discussed, September, there will be no Hillsborough CTST meeting. It would just be the one mega meeting that represents all the counties in District 7. And then October, we will have our in-person meeting. Does anybody have any suggestions of where that we would like to hold that? Like, do we want to do like FDOT again, or does anybody have anywhere else in mind of a location we might want to host the October meeting?
Okay, so if we have some ideas, can we email you, Lori?
Yes. Yes.
Where do we get your contact?
I'll put my information in the chat.
All right.
And then the last thing I want to mention, I know it's fast approaching, but the November meeting is scheduled for the day before Thanksgiving. That'll be a virtual meeting. So I don't know if in the past we've done like a combined November-December meeting where we hold it like mid-December and we skip the month of November, or we could reschedule the November date and then do a November meeting another date. So that's something that we could take into consideration if we want to do like a combined November-December meeting or change the date of the November meeting.
Okay, can we do a poll? I mean, can you send out an email poll?
Okay.
Okay, I'll coordinate with you on that. So members look for a poll. We need your input to make sure that these are well attended and it provides value to everybody that's in the meeting. All right, is that our announcements, Lori?
That is everything I have, yeah.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you at the meeting September the 12th, mega meeting. Let's meet in person. We're going to meet the other CTSTs. I'll be giving a brief presentation on what we accomplished this past year as the Hillsborough CTST. And Lisa, did you have something? No.
Just make sure everybody comes to the Gold Coast Safe Street Summit, October 9th.
All right,
everybody
guys,
on this call is our target audience, so please do consider coming.
Awesome. Yes.
All right. Bye.
Encourage you. Okay, guys, have a great week. Keep up the great work. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Lori, do you want to stay back? Lori and Emily? And Marcia. Is Emily? She dropped off, I guess. All right.